Hi, I'm Kate Abney, Homes Editor at Luxe Interiors and Design, and welcome to Summer Staycation, Building Resort-Worthy Spaces at Home, part of AjMadison's Dream Outdoor Sanctuaries takeover on DesignTV by SANDOW. Today's esteemed guests are Sean McAleer, President of Deck Remodelers, and Jessica Petrino, Editorial Director at AjMadison. Sean and Jessica, welcome.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much for joining us. And I'm really excited to discuss creating the ultimate backyard oasis. As mentioned, Sean McAleer is the president of Deck Remodelers, regarded as a leading award-winning outdoor design and build firm in North America for 10 consecutive years. Based in the tri-state area, Deck Remodelers are experts in designing and building boutique backyard resorts. Sean leads an enthusiastic team that executes designs for nationally recognized award-winning decks and outdoor living spaces. Sean has been in the business for years. He mastered his craft as a third-generation carpenter and cabinet maker. His work at Deck Remodelers begins with surveying the landscape's high points, learning the homeowner's vision, and then creating from the ground up to create an outdoor living space that not only fits the home's architecture, but also accents the client's lifestyle. And our consulting expert today is Jessica Petrino, Editorial Director at AjMadison. Jessica is a home appliances matchmaker. She loves helping clients select the best appliances for every situation. Jessica is a digital CEU provider for the National Kitchen and Bath Association and recently served as a featured expert on outdoor kitchen appliances at the Voices from the Industry Conference at KBIS. She was recognized by the NKBA as an industry 30 under 30. You can find her advice in the AjMadison Learning Center, social media platforms, and Ask the Appliance Experts on WCBS News Radio. So thank you guys. We're so excited to be speaking with you today.
It's great to be here, especially thinking about summer with all the snow that's coming down at the moment.
Yes, I'm really excited to talk about summer and today's topic. You know, outdoor living areas are what everyone seems to be talking about in design at this moment. And I think homeowners are really particularly craving these outdoor spaces, not only because they provide an opportunity to enjoy the outdoors, but they're also expanding the usable footprint of their homes. However, I know this isn't something new. It has been growing for a long time. COVID really kickstarted that interest, right, Sean?
Very much so. Really, a lot of people that were too busy to sit around at home and take a look at what they had got stuck at home and looked in the backyard and said, oh, we don't have anything here. So really put it on people's radar.
Yes, and you really are on a mission to bring the same high quality design of the indoors to the outdoor space, right?
Absolutely. A lot of my clients, the backyard space, their old deck that was built 20 years ago with just pressure treated lumber or whatever, they have beautiful homes. This was the crappiest room in their house. And really, when we're done, it's one of the most beautiful spaces in their house.
Yes, I mean, I completely agree. And when I look at the portfolio of your work at Deck Remodelers, I'm definitely seeing that. You have a way of blurring the line between indoors and out, and also giving sort of those luxurious touches that we've come to expect in high-end interiors. But one thing that I particularly love about your outdoor spaces are the way that you have mastered the outdoor kitchen, which is what's so exciting because it's what gets us out there really enjoying those outdoor spaces. Can you tell us about some of the spaces that you create for your clients?
Yeah, we do a broad range of spaces, and it used to be the kitchens were every second or third project that we would do, and really now literally every project we do, we're doing a kitchen on, and some of them we're doing more than one. We're doing a more functional one by the house and a bigger one by the pool, or a bigger one by the house and a more functional one down by the pool for those days when they're down there grilling and everybody wants to stay down there. But yeah, it runs the range, and we use, back in the day, the whole evolution of the outdoor space. Now we do outdoor kitchen cabinets, nature cast cabinets that literally look as nice as the interior cabinets in the house, and they come with all the same kind of amenities that you would want.
Jessica, I would love to ask you about this because I know with AjMadison, you have a lot of experience with sort of helping customers figure out the best appliances for their kitchen spaces.
The days of putting just a freestanding grill in the backyard at a later stage in the project is kind of over. These spaces are becoming so well thought out to the point where the conversation is definitely not just about the 4th of July anymore. We're talking about the whole year worth of use in an outdoor space. Now, with regards to an outdoor kitchen, I always recommend taking account of the functional zones that are inside of your indoor kitchen. So inside of an indoor kitchen, we have cooking appliances. So you're definitely going to want to consider a really good, trustworthy grill that's going to turn on when you need it. We're seeing a tremendous rise in alternate cooking appliances. One of the most asked about products that we're hearing about these days is the outdoor Napoli oven, commonly used for pizza, but you can really cook anything from cornbread to cookies, steak on cast iron. You can do anything inside of an outdoor oven. Furthermore, we're seeing a much greater variety in outdoor griddles, side burners, wok burners, and ways to customize cooking. When it comes to refrigeration, we're definitely seeing an uptick in these beautiful entertainment spaces. And when working with clients, for me, it's definitely just getting a sense of how the person likes to entertain, what types of drinks do they like to serve, whether it is ice cream and popsicles for the kids running around by the pool, or if it's more of a sophisticated wine tasting room in your backyard and everything in between.
Sean, you have a way of creating these resort-like experiences for your clients. That's sort of what I think about when you go to escape outdoors and you enjoy that sort of lounge time and entertaining time. It's almost like escaping to your favorite resort.
You know, we've all been there. On vacation, you get the cocktail, you sit down in the chairs, you're in the shady area, and it's just absolutely heaven. It's just perfect, that feeling that you have, and all your cares melt away, and you're just enjoying the people you're with. You could spend hours and hours just hanging out and relaxing, and that's really what people want. You know, they don't want to have to travel for all of that to do that. They want that feeling, and especially the way that we're all locked down and everything has been going on and crazy recently, having that escapism and being able to, you know, escape to your own backyard and have that resort feel is just absolutely priceless for people. They really, really want it. And gathering friends and family over, it's fun to go on vacation, but you know, we don't always get to take all the friends and family, but when you can have them all at your house and it's like you're on vacation together, it's fantastic.
Yes, I completely agree, Sean. And, you know, could you paint a picture for us of some of these spaces you've created? I've noted that, you know, you're creating underdecks and cabanas and this amazing variety of spaces that a lot of homeowners may not even think of to create, but you really deliver on those, right?
Right. That's so my approach. I'm looking at the way people want to live in their home and live outside their home. Do they have little kids and they have lots of people over? Do they entertain frequently, or is it just a few adults? Depends on the different kinds of spaces that we do. And I want to design for spaces that flow one into the other. So you can have an intimate space if it's just a couple of people and you're together, or if there's a whole bunch of people. I want everybody at the party to feel like they're all at the same party. The days of breaking up spaces, like if you have a multi-level deck, one of the things that used to make me nuts was they would have rails in between the levels. Well, I don't want to sit looking through rails talking to a friend of mine on, you know, a different level when there's a bunch of people there. So you'd have everybody congregating in a small space. We took all that out. It's like the open floor plan in houses, you know, in architecture of newer homes, you have that open floor plan. Everybody can be connected when they want to be connected. Really, people are spending a lot of time and money developing these spaces so they can just have the perfect experience for their guests. And, you know, one of the things too is islands. I put islands in almost every design I do because everybody knows the island story. When you have people over at your house, you're trying to prepare food and get ready, you go in the dining room, eat, I'm setting everything. Everybody's at the island. They're all hanging out with you.
Right.
The same thing happens outside.
Right, right. And, I know that you staff NKBA certified kitchen designers on staff. You have interior designers who work on the outdoor space. And you also graduated as a chef. So I know that you definitely know your stuff when it comes to creating that ideal culinary environment outdoors. And I love that you mentioned the pizza ovens, which is, one of the great appliances that Jessica recommended. So Jessica, are there any other sort of buzzworthy appliances on your radar that we should, keep in mind and look for in the coming spring and summer?
Absolutely. I think for the majority of people who are remodeling their outdoor spaces, to the point that Sean was making, no two kitchen appliance packages for the outdoor space should look the same. There's so much variety. And one of the most fantastic things about the Lynx brand, and a reason why I've been specifying it for so long, is because they have a tremendous selection of products that all match. Matching handles, matching finishes. And there are so many different shapes and sizes. The most important product to many people when considering their outdoor designs is ultimately a really high quality, trustworthy grill. Whether they're putting a large grill in the main outdoor entertaining area, maybe they're putting a smaller version by a guest house. There's so much variety there, but having a grill that's going to kind of have everything that you need when you need it. It is made from high quality 304 grade stainless steel. You want something that's going to have a smoker box if you want to insert wood chips to impart more flavor, and something just with some really high quality grates that's going to last you for a long time. So definitely pay attention to the features of the grill that you're considering. Furthermore, you definitely don't want to overlook the areas of storage and cleanup as well. So like with your indoor space, it's really important to consider what types of grilling tools you're going to be using, whether you have any sets of plates and cups and flatware for outdoor versus indoor. The ability to be able to house and store all of those goods near where you're using them, it's really going to limit trips in and out of the house. Personally, I'm a little bit excited about having a cocktail station, especially has a built-in sink. Prior to the pandemic, our yards were kind of the place where on weekends we went to do work. Transforming that space into an area that can be relaxing, extending the square footage of the house is just so special. To be able to take a place that was previously considered to be work and make it an area of escape.
I love that. You're right. It used to be yard work. That was the thing. The spaces we design, we don't want them to be work. So we're designing with no maintenance materials. The nature cast cabinets that we're using. We design with natural stone. A great company we work with, our stone. It's all natural stone veneers, and they'll last a lifetime. So it's really important to think about when designing these spaces, to design with products. First of all, products that are going to withstand the extremes of temperature and weather, but also the way that they're put together so that they maximize the lifespan of what you're building, because it's, you want to build something beautiful, you want it to last.
As someone who lives up in the Northeast, it used to be the sentiment that we're going to use our outdoor living area for 2, 3, 4 months out of the year. And then beyond that, it's kind of a lackluster investment. And that has completely changed with the ultimate range of products and finishes available today to be able to withstand varying weather conditions. If you live in a place with cooler temperatures, considering an area for people to gather, Lynx makes a fire table, which is a beautiful fire pit where people can gather around. So kind of drawing from those experiences, not just the warm weather ones, to home has been a tremendous trend.
I just want to thank you so much for your expert insight. And, it sounds like deck remodelers and AjMadison are both great places to start when we're putting together our ideas for this spring and summer. So thank you so much for joining us on DesignTV.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Pfaff-Smith, Homes Editor at Luxe Interiors and Design Magazine. Welcome to Hottest Cooking Appliances for Foodies and Entertaining Essentials, part of AjMadison's Dream Outdoor Sanctuaries takeover on DesignTV by SANDOW. Today, I'm bringing you outside for a very special look at some of the most fantastic cooking appliances and entertaining must-haves. Joining me in the great outdoors are two experts in this field, Jessica Petrino, Editorial Director of Nationwide Appliance Authority AjMadison, and Chef Andre Dangon, the brand chef for Lynx Outdoor Kitchens. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you for having us.
So in the past couple of years, we've seen a huge demand for outdoor kitchens and exterior living spaces. Jessica, as someone with an expertise on all things appliances, what are some considerations a homeowner should keep in mind when planning for an outdoor kitchen?
Sure. So there are a million different directions that we can take with this. I think for a lot of folks, the decision to invest in their outdoor spaces is relatively recent, definitely influenced a little bit by the pandemic. Certainly the idea of cooking outside has been a thing for centuries, but the idea of taking kind of the luxuries of the indoors and making the outdoors a comfortable place to get together and entertain and have people over. Outdoor dining has become a really hot thing to do, as influenced by the pandemic. And so, regardless of whether we're planning for a summer celebration for Independence Day, or if we're doing tailgating outside to watch football in the fall, just kind of accommodating the needs of outdoor living and entertaining has become so important.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And of course, every outdoor kitchen requires a grill. So Lynx offers a series of professional grills, both freestanding and built-in, and they've got some pretty impressive technologies. Chef, in your opinion, what really sets Lynx apart from other brands?
Overall, what I love about Lynx, especially the Lynx grill, is that we make products for residential use. But as a professional chef myself, I can put them to the test. Like the temperature versatility in our grills and all of our equipment is crazy. It goes super low, like 250 degrees, 300 degrees, so you can slowly grill something, or anything in between up to 1,000 degrees. If you let this monster of a grill heat up for like 5 to 10 minutes on max heat, the grates themselves will reach around 1,000 degrees. And it's not like there's a low, a medium, and a max. You can play with those temperatures. So it's the versatility, I would say, is one of my favorite things.
Mm-hmm. Well, another thing I found really cool is, in terms of the construction of a Lynx grill, I understand they're particularly great for coastal and windy locations. Jessica, tell us more about, what we should consider when really looking at the design of a grill.
Absolutely. I think kind of the idea of initial quality comes to mind for me. When you approach a Lynx grill and you feel the handles and you lift up the hood of that grill, it feels like a product of very substantial quality that's going to stand the test of time. There are a couple of really important features to point out. Lynx grills, they have this seamless welded construction. So regardless of whether you're in an area that's coastal or a place that gets a lot of rain, for example, you're going to have way less likely to have leakage into your grill. Furthermore, there's a really cool heat stabilizing feature, which ultimately looks like a little fin in the back of the grill hood. And what it does is it prevents wind from swirling around in the grill. What can happen with some grills is air can get in underneath the hood and can affect the temperature when you're cooking, which can impact the results of the food.
So it's a beautiful design, and it cooks great too. And, probably the most important feature of any grill really is the type of burner. So I understand Lynx has two really common ones. There's the infrared and there's the ceramic burner. Chef, what should a homeowner consider when deciding between the two of those, and which one should you gravitate toward?
The normal traditional configuration where you have the briquettes, right? So the briquettes sit on top of the burner and underneath the grates. So traditionally, when you turn the grill on, the burners heat up the briquettes, and the briquettes heat up the grates, right? In the all-trident burner, which is the infrared burner, you have the infrared burner heating up directly the grates. Much faster, much more versatile, and just more powerful. So in the traditional configuration with the briquettes, you need to wait until the briquettes heat up, and then those heat up the grates. And the other way around, if you're like searing something and you want to cook at a lower temperature until your preferred doneness, if let's say you're cooking a steak, you would have to either have a different stone already at that temperature, or wait more or less 20 minutes until those briquettes cool down and then cool down the grates. With the infrared burners, that temperature adjustment is almost instant. I could have the grill as I have it right now on max, which is probably around 900 degrees at the moment, which is my favorite temperature to grill a steak. I could then, after I have the char that I prefer, how it looks, I can turn it to medium, and within a minute or two, those grates, which are made out of stainless steel, they release temperature very, very quickly. So within 2 minutes, that temperature has adjusted, and I don't have to wait 20 minutes for the temperature to change or to like have a different zone. In this grill that we have right now, we have 3 independent burners. So I could literally cook 3 different things with different temperatures. I could sear steaks on this one and then quickly turn it down and continue cooking to my preferred doneness. I could have some chicken breasts here on low cooking, and then I could have probably asparagus grilling over here. So that one grill with 3 different burners gives you so much freedom to cook different things at the same time, which the traditional configuration, you wouldn't, because you need to adjust the zone and wait for that.
So there are 2 Lynx grill options in particular that really stand out to me. One is the rotisserie option, and the other is the tumbler. Chef, can you tell us how you use both of these when you're cooking?
Yeah, so on the grill, we have the Rotisserie Motor over here, and we have 2 different settings. We can put it closer to the grate level, or we can put it up a little bit higher. And before I burn myself, we can remove this grate, or we can put it up high. And we normally would have like a rotisserie rod over here where you can I've done it myself. I've roasted 3 whole chickens at the same time with the rotisserie burner, which is here on the back. And then the rotisserie basket, or the tumbler, goes inserted in the rotisserie rod, and you can just roast anything that you want in it. I normally use it to roast potatoes. We've even tried making popcorn in it, roasted coffee beans. It's great, all the different things that you can do with it.
Well, of course, we need a beverage pairing to sip with this incredible menu. And that's where a tap dispenser in an outdoor kitchen can really come in handy. So Jessica, what should a homeowner consider when looking into under-counter refrigeration?
There is an incredible amount of selection available for the ultimate grilling and chilling experience. So whether it's a tap dispenser for your favorite carbonated beverage, or if you're into collecting wines and you want to be able to have a really nice, refreshing glass of rosé, Or, I mean, if you're doing kids' drinks in refrigerator drawers that they can easily access as they're getting in and out of the pool, the opportunities are really tremendous. And I think it really comes down to what types of things do you like to enjoy in the summer? Like picking out the ultimate entertaining essentials really is a fun conversation because you already know what you like to drink. So think about that. Think about what you like to serve and then customize the ideal appliance package based on what you like to do when you entertain. I highly recommend a sink and a faucet for washing your hands in between cooking and making cocktails and everything else that you want to do in your yard. Additionally, I greatly recommend having some type of refrigeration in place because it's not just for drinks and cocktails, for things like keeping your meat cold until you're ready to start cooking. Or if someone brings over some cold fruit or whatever it is, you can have all of that in your fridge outside ready to go. And ultimately what it does is it limits trips in and out of the house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and sometimes you also need a touch of something really fun and special in the outdoor kitchen. And another piece of equipment that can help with that is the Asado Cooktop. So I understand this is a flat rectangular pan, and it offers temperature control of 2 different areas at once. Chef, how has this ability benefited you when you're cooking outside?
Going back to the great versatility of all of our equipment is the temperature control of everything. And that's not any different with the Asado. We have basically 2 different burners on the Asado, the independent burners, I'm sorry. And on this side, for example, I'm slowly roasting, slowly crisping some potatoes. And then on the other side, I'm cooking nothing because I just wanted to show you how amazing the division of temperature it is. So I just splattered a little bit of oil here and I let it basically just burn on high temperature. And these potatoes are cooking on low temperature setting. And if you see right down the middle, there is a line where that division of the burners is. And this right here to this side, super hot, and this side here is not that hot. So it's perfect for crisping up potatoes or slowly cooking something. And then the other side is where you can steer maybe hamburger patties or a different type of protein. So it's just great that you can control the temperature and just, again, cook different things on the same product at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Chef, what do you think will be the top, al fresco meals of 2022?
Look, I think that question is completely fair to ask, but it's not fair to answer when you have this. Because when you have a kitchen like this, outside, outdoors, where you have all the equipment that you need, that you would have inside, the answer is just anything. You could literally cook anything that you cook inside, you can cook outside. Our Napoli oven, I'm right now, I don't know if you can see it, I'm slowly roasting some carrots. Because of the pizza stone at the bottom, I can also make pizzas. I can grill steaks over here. So you can get super creative. This year, actually, one of my purposes is to make more Korean barbecue at home. Mm. So I love Korean barbecue flavors. And this setup just allows you to just do anything that you want. So as far as trends, the sky's the limit with the Lynx outdoor kitchen.
Well, I think you have officially made me and Jessica very hungry now. Thank you both for spending time with us outside today. What a treat this was. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Incredible Small Space and Urban Outdoor Kitchen Designs, part of AjMadison's Dream Outdoor Sanctuaries takeover on DesignTV by SANDOW. I'm Grace Bewley-Hunt, Home and Design Editor at Luxe Interiors and Design, and I'm thrilled to be here today chatting small space outdoor kitchen design with some incredible experts on the subject. So today we're going to be diving into what makes a great outdoor kitchenette and how we can all make the most of petite balconies and backyards and rooftop retreats. As a born and raised New Yorker and the editor of our New York edition, I can definitely attest to the enduring magic and appeal of a petite urban garden. It really is the ultimate amenity. So we have a really fun segment planned today. We're going to be talking about trends and inspiration and tips for bringing your own small space outdoor oasis to life. But first, let's say hello to our guests. Joining us today, we have Jessica Petrino, Editorial Director of AjMadison. Jessica, would you like to say a quick hello and introduce yourself?
Absolutely. Hi, everyone. I'm Jessica Petrino, Editorial Director at AjMadison. I am from Boston, Massachusetts, born and raised, and I have been specifying outdoor kitchen appliances for at least 10 years now. I absolutely love talking about all things appliances, indoor, outdoor, laundry spaces, you name it. And one of my favorite things is really just educating all of our clients as well as the trade professionals that we work with about all things happening in the industry, CEU classes, and recently actually just gave Voices from the Industry talk at KBIS on outdoor living. So
perfect timing.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Jessica. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
And we are also so lucky to be joined today by landscape architect Bob Bell. Bob, please say hello.
Hi, everyone. My background is landscape architecture. I went to Cornell University in upstate New York, and then I moved down to Washington, D.C., and I split my time now between Washington and South Florida and New York State as well, the Hamptons area. I do projects in all three areas, and I'm really excited to be here.
Terrific. Well, thank you, Bob. And I can't wait to hear both of your perspectives on this. I need some advice of my own, so this should be a great chat. So to get started today, obviously we see a lot of really expansive, incredible estates and larger homes here at Luxe. No disrespect to them, they're fabulous. But it's kind of nice sometimes to take a step back from that and really kind of bring it down to earth and like distill the essentials, right? So I'd like to start there, and I'd love to know what each of you really considers to be like the luxury outdoor kitchen starter kit, if you will. Whether it's like a balcony or a small backyard. Where do you begin? Kind of what is that cocktail like getting started? So Jessica, I'd love to hear from you first. What do you think every small outdoor kitchen really needs to succeed?
Absolutely. So one of the things I do want to stress throughout this segment is the fact that smaller spaces does not mean lesser than products. You can achieve the same functionality and a lot of the same like luxury in some of the great features that are available in the supersized grills, you can get in smaller sizes. If you think about it, some of the expansive, luxurious kitchens that you see across magazines and through many of the projects that we have done, if you actually just look at the products that are incorporated into those massive kitchens, it really is just a collection of many smaller things put together. So if we think about it that way, when we have a smaller space, we can absolutely achieve a lot of that same functionality. We just need to be very intentional about the different things that we choose for cooking, refrigeration, storage, and cleanup.
Awesome. And Bob, can you kind of expound on that in terms of like a design view? Like how would you lay that out? If you're really working with some key elements in a smaller space, like where do you begin?
That's a great question. And I think to sort of expand on what Jessica is saying, you don't sacrifice quality because you're having a smaller space, right? You really want to have, the fewer better things and really, look at your budget and say, where can I possibly, get the best quality items for this? I always start as a landscape architect with the layout, seating, a table, a chair, you can do this on a balcony, you can do this in a very small backyard, but where are you going to sit? And then you sort of think of, okay, I'm sitting here, I want a cocktail, I want a cold glass of lemonade or something. And then sort of go from there. Then do I have room for a grill? So I always think of sort of beverages first, and then move on to sort of food and snacks and things like that. So a sink for me is always the first one, and then refrigerator, and then grill or something like that, that would sort of allow for food items.
Definitely. So it's kind of like the same concept as designing a really souped up like galley kitchen in a small apartment. It's like you're getting those compact sizes, and those are all now available now, kind of in a way that you can work within an outdoor context. So that's pretty exciting. So I'd kind of like to talk about, to get a little more granular within that, what's really new and hot for cooks and entertainers, with kind of smaller plots to work with. Like macro scale, what are some of the lifestyle trends that both of you are seeing that are then being reflected in what people are asking for? What's kind of gone mainstream, I guess is my question, and why in terms of the way we're living. So Jessica, let's get your perspective first. What's really been selling big in the small space category, and what are you and the folks at AjMadison betting big on?
So one thing that we have found since really the winter of 2020 is more and more people are ultimately committing to more permanent structures. So in years past, we were seeing, people putting a freestanding grill on the patio, a freestanding grill somewhere, and just kind of putting some plastic chairs out in the yard and calling it a day.
Sure.
And, now that we're spending so much more time at home, entertaining at home, being outside, we're finding that really kind of committing to a more functional setup is not only going to be more enjoyable to cook and to entertain, it's also just a much better investment. It's way more beautiful. So we're seeing a lot of islands. I mean, you can create a beautiful outdoor kitchen in about 6 feet of space, which isn't a ton. I know in some areas it's harder than others, but in general, like that's ultimately the first thing that we're seeing is kind of commitment to the project. When it comes to specific appliances, I would say if you're in a small space, you definitely want to invest in products that have multiple functionalities to them. So you want a great grill that's going to be there for you every single time. You're going to be able to turn that on and it's going to work really well.
Yeah.
We're seeing grills with built-in rotisseries, smoker boxes to impart flavor. The Lynx brand in particular, I love specifying it for small spaces as well as big ones because they really pack a lot of features into every product. Beverage centers do both refrigeration and wine storage. So it's kind of a 2-in-1 situation.
Yep.
We have beverage centers. They make refrigerators with a freezer section built into them. So you can do both fresh and frozen food. And so just kind of packing multi-functionality into the appliances as much as possible has been really popular for smaller spaces.
That's awesome. I feel like both of those trends have such staying power. I don't even want to call them a trend. It's like, just do it right. Get your program down.
Yeah.
Bob, what's your take? I'd love to know specifically, with your urban clients, like what are they really asking for in terms of outdoor kitchens, and what have you been really excited about recently in terms of new to market?
Well, I think what Jessica said was correct. And I think that this is not really a trend. And what you said too, Grace, it's not a trend. It's how people are living now. And taking advantage of every little bit of space outdoors is hugely important. Have a few friends over, everyone wants to be outside. So one thing I really like, and I think, again, Jessica mentioned this, was multi-purpose things. So Viking actually makes a 24-inch sink base that you can put a small sink in, and then there's storage underneath it. So my key thing, of course, is always, beverages and water and getting some little prep area. So having some storage underneath, maybe for a few cushions or for an ice bucket or something, I think really does a lot in a small space. You can kind of close it up and then, it looks very clean and neat and tidy and things like that. So multifunctionality, I think, is hugely important. The refrigerator for me is always a big thing too, whether it's, the small cube things we all had in college, which are made so much better now by a lot of the manufacturers. They just look much more attractive. They're stainless, or they're something you wouldn't be sort of, afraid to have out. But I think the small appliances are great. And for me, refrigerator, sink, and then move on to the grills and things like that too. They do require a bit more space. So that's something that would probably require, a bigger balcony or something, a bigger garden, but certainly start with a table chair and like an outdoor sink or sort of sink base kind of thing with a prep area basically on it.
What's really cool is lately we've seen a huge trend towards outdoor pizza ovens. And really, I call it a pizza oven, but it's officially Lynx makes the Napoli oven. There are wood-fired pizza ovens. There's gas-powered pizza ovens available on the market today for outdoor use. And a lot of them have the option to sit on top of the counter. So really cool, kind of portable. And you can cook anything that you would make in an oven in the house outside. So that's something that's certainly been trending even for smaller kitchens and smaller spaces. Additionally, a lot of the appliances, you have an option. You could build it into cabinetry, or with a lot of things, they do make optional carts. So if you wanted to get something and mount it onto a cart and park it into a corner and then store it somewhere for the winter, you could certainly do that.
Oh, that's cool. So just kind of wheel it out in season.
Yeah, exactly. And to Bob's point, storage is so key. Whether it's access doors, drawers, like with a small house, if you have a smaller yard, you want to be very, very intentional about what is going to be stored outside. And if you think about the things that you're going to store outside, then you can find the appropriate drawers and access doors and things to match.
Definitely. And I feel like this all speaks to this real, lifestyle evolution we've seen, where people are really entertaining at home, more than before, and wanting that to kind of flow to the outdoors and really just have a place you can comfortably host, even if your square footage is smaller than most. So I'd love to give our viewers today some tangible tips to work with. So I would love to know if there are any design rules that you each abide by when it kind of comes to putting together, a garden or an outdoor kitchen within a 6-foot area. Kind of like how they say your coffee table should be 2/3 of your sofa. Is there anything that you feel kind of compelled to share, in terms of outdoor design commandments? I'd love to start with you, Bob. I imagine you have a few tricks up your sleeve.
Sure. Well, we've mentioned, different appliance things. And one of the big ones that people sort of forget about until it's too late is don't put grills under windows. And if you have it all the ability to place it somewhere else, just be really careful about when you put it there, because during the summer, even if the window is closed, it will get into the house with smoke and things like that. So I always try and place the grill as far away as possible from any sort of windows or vents or things like that. And then also thinking about access points to your space. You don't want to be going back and forth across something that's going to be unsafe. I like to think about lighting too. Everyone likes a really flattering lighting at night, whether it's bistro lights or some sort of outdoor lighting that will just sort of make everyone look glowing and perfect and wonderful. So those are some of the more fun things I usually think about when I'm designing a space outside.
Oh, these are great tips. One is very practical and one is, creating the mood. Those are really, really smart. Thank you. Jessica, I'd love to hear your kind of hot tips as well.
Absolutely. I think especially when it comes to small spaces and more urban spaces, one thing that's really, really important to just get intel on is if there are any limitations regarding what type of fuel you can have. For example, there are some places where you really can't have propane above a first level, other places where you have to pipe natural gas to the location from the home, or there certainly are a lot of associations and buildings where gas is not possible, at which point there are a plethora of electric, charcoal, and wood-fired options out there. So kind of get that intel before you go into designing the space. And then, being a New Englander, I think about weather too. And just to consider the elements, consider changes, and then just the products that are available today are built so well. There are some really, really great options out there. Always get a cover when you get an outdoor appliance as well. Protect it when you're not using it. It's a really, really good investment to keep your products lasting for a long time.
Awesome tips. Thank you so much. Yeah, I think that this is a nice segue to our kind of wrap up exercise today. And this is where a partner like AJ or like Bob comes in so handy for these actual practical, how do I make this happen for myself, right? So we're going to take a look actually at my Brooklyn garden. So this is a space that I put a lot of love into in the deep days of quarantine in terms of cleaning it up and making it pretty. But as you'll see from these photos, which I shared with our guests a few days ago, we really haven't realized it in terms of an entertaining or a cooking program. And I would love to host. I'd love to serve cocktails. I'd love to have friends over to grill, but I don't really know where to begin with any of that stuff. So I promise I'm not soliciting free design advice, but I think it serves as a great case study. So I'd love to know what each of you would do with this space. Bob, let's start with you. What 3 things would you put into this little gravel dining area?
Well, I think a bistro chair and table is really important. Even in a small space, again, seating is really great. Maybe get something like a club chair if it'll fit, something you can kind of lay down on. Certainly an umbrella for me. I have very fair skin, so I'm always about shading. So being careful with the sun. And then, of course, lighting at night. Again, if you want to have something really great and flattering, it can be a lantern. It could be something with candles. It could be something more permanent with an actual electric light. And then again, I would do something like a pedestal sort of sink base with a little stand where you can put a cocktail or 2 and your ice bucket and things like that. And that's what I would do.
Amazing. I love that. Yeah, even the idea of having it all shaded by a pretty umbrella, I feel like would be super beautiful. And Jessica, I need to know your take. Like if we're hardwiring this thing, if we're putting in a permanent structure, like what does my garden look like?
I first have to say that your garden looks so cute.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's the perfect like little garden party location. And I feel like some of the best gatherings and like intimate events happen in spaces like this. I love that there's some natural shade there. When it comes to appliances, potentially almost like an island that you could sit at. And then with some refrigeration built into the island, as well as a small space built-in grill. I would certainly think about something maybe approximately 30 inches. You can get a great product with at least 2 burners, a great sear station, and something that's going to be really, really functional. But I would do little sink, some refrigeration in the island, and then definitely a grill.
Sounds dreamy. I love the idea of having kind of like a built-in island there where you like saddle up to it and you have your cocktails. This is what I'm going to be working towards.
Everyone wants to sit around the island,
right?
While you're cooking.
Definitely. Well, thank you guys. That's such inspiring tips. And I feel like we covered a lot of ground in a short amount of time today. So thank you so much. And I hope that all of our viewers today have left with some inspiration for their own petite retreats. As the experts have proven, bigger is not always better. So thank you guys so much. And we'll see you all next time on DesignTV.
Hi, I'm Paulette Pearson, Texas Homes Editor for Luxe Interiors and Design, and welcome to What Does Customization Mean for the Outdoor Kitchen, part of AjMadison's Dream Outdoor Sanctuaries takeover on DesignTV by SANDOW. Today, I am very excited to have Jessica Petrino, Editorial Director of AjMadison, as well as the extremely talented Texas-based interior designer, Tori Rubinson, here with me to explore this very fun topic. So thank you both for being here. I'm excited to kind of pick your brains a little bit about what we can do to customize an outdoor space and kitchen space outside, even though it's, snowing here in Texas right now. We can dream about the future.
Yes, for sure. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Well, I guess, Tori, I'll start with you. We at Luxe all know and admire you for your attention to detail and customization, and it's just incredible. So I guess, I'd love to know a little bit more about how you kind of approach customization in the outdoor spaces that you design, and specifically kitchens. Can you tell us a little bit about that and how you approach those projects?
Absolutely. For us, it always starts with how the client is going to use the space. And so there's a lot of questions that we ask them just about the functionality. How full service does that kitchen need to be? Do you grill? Do you entertain? And if so, what kinds of events do you have? How many people are you hosting? And so that really helps us know the functionality needs that the space will require.
Right.
And then aesthetically, we we kind of always want from room to room for things to be harmonious and to make sense. And so that includes the exterior spaces for us as well. And so we kind of pull from the interior to inspire the exterior.
I love that. Do you find that has kind of become something that you've thought about more in recent months, or kind of tying together the interior and exterior a little bit more? Or is that something that it's always been a part of your work?
I always have, included the exterior in my thought process for entertaining. I think just being from the South, I grew up, around a pool in the summer, and that was kind of what we all did. And so it has always been a part of my thought process for sure.
Right. And what other questions do you like to ask your clients? So, are there any, what are some of, I guess, the main considerations that you think about? I mean, obviously you need to know more about the family, how they're going to use the space. What are some of those big questions, in addition to the ones you've already kind of touched on, that you make sure that you include or kind of confront at the beginning of the project?
Sure. Some of the questions will lead that they answer. So how they use the space then leads us to some more specific questions. And so if there's a grill, how much are you grilling? Do you, what capacity load do we need for the number of steaks or burgers or whatever? And do you want a beverage center outside? Do your kids use it for drinks and entertaining their friends? Do you like ice machines? And, what type of ice? We love Sonic ice. So we almost always put a Sonic ice machine outside. And then we get to have a lot of fun with the types of fabrics we use out there, whether it's a dining table and chair set or sofas and lounge chairs. There's so many options now for outdoor fabrics. And so that makes it really fun for us. And then the surfaces that we use. So, are you using limestone, brick, tiles, what kind of countertops, all of those things, lighting, of course.
Right. I just love the fact that so many of those questions are just like the questions you ask inside, just like when you're kind of designing interiors, which I love. And I know we have Jessica, who's our appliance expert here, who we'll get to in just a second, to kind of ask her about some of those specific kind of appliances that can help make, I guess, take an outdoor space to the next level. But, can you tell us about any sort of recent custom, outdoor kitchen spaces that you designed and loved, and some of the features that really made them sing, whether it's an appliance or, a sort of a really detailed or customized, feature? Can you tell us a little bit about a recent project that stands out to you and what you incorporated that kind of took it to the next level?
Well, what comes to mind for me is our personal home we finished most recently, and the outdoor space was something that we put a lot of effort into. Like I said, we love it to feel like it's an extension of our personal interior of our home. And so we had hand painted custom tiles for the backsplash of the grill wall made, and those tied into a lot of the fabrics that we chose for the furnishings. We mixed a lot of different types of furniture, metal and wood and teak and rattan. And so it has like a very comfortable, cozy and approachable feel. We had a custom plaster vent hood made, and then these custom amazing light fixtures that we did with Charles Edwards. And they're just phenomenal, and a really beautiful beaded chandelier over the dining table.
Right.
This incredible two-sided fireplace that has a beautiful brick design. So it was really fun to design that space, and we've really enjoyed using it all throughout the year, to be honest.
Wonderful. Jessica, I know that, for you, customization is not a little bit different, but it's really more about the product selection. So aside from these wonderful textiles and, all the wonderful lighting that can kind of make a home feel truly custom to a particular client, I know that for you, it's all about, finding those appliances that kind of cater to those wants and needs. So can you tell us about just how important that is to transforming an outdoor kitchen into sort of a luxurious retreat. I'd love for you to kind of give us the rundown on what you think about.
Fantastic. I think what makes an outdoor kitchen luxury is the power of choice.
Yeah.
And the power to be able to customize. And I always encourage clients to start the process thinking about food and thinking about drinks. Because we all know what we like to eat. We all know what we like to drink. And so if we kind of start the conversation there, what types of things are we going to be making outside? Then we can customize and tailor the product selection so that the space is really functional. To Tori's point earlier, how many people are going to be coming to events or parties? How many people are you going to be cooking for on a regular night? Who's doing the cooking outside? Is it the people who are residing at the residence? Is the homeowners, or are catering companies coming in to be able to serve food? And then what are the needs of entertaining? A question I love to ask is, how much time do you spend at this particular residence? How much time do you plan to be in the home? Is it someplace that you want to spend forever at? Or are you planning for resale down the line? If it's someone's secondary residence, I think I'm Boston based. So I'm thinking, summertime on Cape Cod between the beaches and the pool, and, kind of creating those times and those memories. You want your outdoor oasis to be kind of like a resort.
Right.
We base this customization based on the types of things that people are making. In terms of a checklist, I take the functionality that you're used to in your indoor kitchen, and then we try to translate it outdoors. So what types of cooking appliances are you going to need outside?
Right.
Most outdoor kitchens incorporate a grill. And then furthermore, are there any other outdoor cooking appliances that we can use to complement that? We've seen a tremendous amount of interest in pizza ovens.
Right.
Lynx makes a very popular Napoli oven, which can make anything from pizzas to cornbread, steaks. It's so cool. And in terms of trends, like, we're seeing a fantastic expansion of menu options. We definitely like to incorporate some cooling appliances, some type of outdoor refrigeration, wine storage. And then it comes to storage and cleanup, and kind of what types of things are we going to be storing outside full time versus being brought back and forth into the house. And how are we going to be able to manage, some of the things that come along with entertaining and parties? Where is the trash and recycling going to go? And what types of products are available to be able to handle tasks such as that?
Wonderful. I mean, for both of you, it sounds like it all starts with just a lot of questions and kind of getting down to how the space will be used. Tori, I'm curious for you and kind of to tie in what Jessica's expertise, how far into the process do you think about appliances? I know it's, textiles and lighting, all of those things, but how far into the process do you start planning those appliances and what you might need and where you might be obtaining those?
Actually, appliances are one of the earliest things that we begin with, appliances and plumbing, because when you're dealing with either a remodel or new construction, they need to know where those are going to go during the mechanical phase. So that is a consideration from the very beginning.
Okay, that's great. Well, that's probably great for you to hear it too, as well, Jessica.
Absolutely. Yeah. The earlier in the process, kind of the better. Now is actually an amazing time to start exploring appliances for outdoor renovations for the 2022 season. There's been a tremendous amount of interest.
Are there any product selection tips you can share that maybe our listeners might be interested in knowing about?
Absolutely. So Tori mentioned Sonic Ice, which has been so trendy. We've been seeing a lot of interest in, they call it a nugget ice maker in our industry, but we've also seen a lot of interest in clear ice cubes as well. There's so many different cool appliances that cater to really whatever it is that you want to cook and whatever it is that you want to drink. So whether it's clear ice, nugget ice, wine storage has been tremendously popular, and kind of just crafting these experiences of being in an outdoor living room with your outdoor kind of tasting room experience is really fun. A lot of refrigerator drawers for easy access of things for the kids. Furthermore, we see a lot of interest in warming drawers, not just for food. It's great to keep food warm, but outdoor warming drawers are also fabulous for keeping towels warm at the ready. If you're putting that poolside, so that's super fun and luxurious. And then my last two things really are, you want to obviously think about your eating and cooking style and your entertaining style, but also anticipate future needs.
Right.
Whether that is you're starting a family or you're maybe planning to age in place, just kind of have an eye on your current situation, but also kind of an eye towards the future. You're making an investment in a beautiful space in your home. And it's going to be so much fun for years to come.
Great. Well, thank you so much to you both. Tori, is there anything else you want to add? I love the idea of kind of bringing together sort of the functional and kind of aesthetic aspect, which ultimately creates the ultimate luxurious outdoor space. So, I mean, Tori, is there anything else that kind of came to mind there or that you'd like to add after hearing Jessica speak?
Well, I was really excited about the warming drawer idea with the towels. I hadn't thought of that. I was like, Jessica, yes, I need that. No, I think that people just need to, when they're designing their home, really, I would encourage people to view it as another space to really get to create something beautiful. And I think that's a part of how you'll feel when you're entertaining or just enjoying time with your family is your aesthetics around you. It really impacts that. And so encourage people to really have fun with it and include that in part of your thought process.
That's great. Well, thank you so much to you both. I wish we had a lot more time to kind of go into more detail, but I really am so grateful for you to kind of share a few tidbits about what it is that you think will make a great outdoor space. And I guess that sort of wraps up our segment on simple ways to customize the outdoor kitchen space of your dreams. Thanks again to our wonderful panelists for your insights, and a special thanks to everyone for tuning in to AjMadison's Dream Outdoor Sanctuaries DesignTV takeover today. We'll see you all again soon. Thanks so much.